for your questions. And we also had a list of questions that we received before the workshop. So we'll make sure that we address those, and then we can continue with any questions that we have during this workshop as well. Okay, welcome. This is Eagle 3D Streaming. We are the leaders in pixel streaming. We have thousands of clients from all over the globe, and we focus primarily on providing the most advanced and robust pixel streaming platform that there is on the market. We care deeply about being proactive and inventive. This is really who we are at the end of the day. We love thinking about new things, trying new things, and prioritize action over no action. And our mission is, of course, to provide the best high fidelity interactive 3D experiences on the web. Our customers. So who typically do we commonly work with? If you are a visualization agency or a visualization studio, you are definitely in the right place. A lot of our customers are visualization studios that have at some point either their client has a project that requires an interactive experience and requires them to share the application beyond more than one device. So, for example, perhaps they've developed a real estate configurator and they need to share it across multiple devices to multiple customers. Then in this case, deployment becomes a big question and a big challenge because, as we know, the device landscape is fragmented, meaning your customers are going to not always have gaming PCs. So when it comes to if we have developed a very high fidelity interactive experience, it becomes very difficult for our customers to access that because they may be accessing it through a laptop. The solution, of course, is pixel streaming. And the reason why pixel streaming is becoming one of the more common methods of deployment is because it solves for this challenge, which is almost always a challenge when you're dealing with an interactive experience. And that is that your customers are not going to always have the specific device that or one single device. There's going to be a variety of them, and we need a way and a method in order to accommodate for that. This is what it kind of looks like when we're in sort of that development mode. We're building something for a project or for a customer, and we're ready to release a project. And sometimes, or what we commonly see is, okay, well, we've made this awesome high fidelity interactive experience. How are we going to deploy it for our customers? And this can lead to a lot of unpleasant experiences. Sometimes it becomes a challenge with the customer. It can create back and forth with the customer wondering, well, when is the project going to be released? When is it going to be developed? It can cause, questions regarding reliability and how, we've invested a lot in this interactive experience, but we're not able to access it. And it closes doors, meaning if we have not considered deployment in the end user's device, then it's going to limit the amount of people that can access the experience. So if we instead look at a solution which is pixel streaming, then a lot of these challenges go away. It's very easy for us to, once we've built the Unreal Engine application, to deploy it to any customer's device. And that, instead of closes doors, opens doors, because then we're in a position where as long as they have an internet connection, then it's easy for anyone to access a high fidelity interactive experience. And it's also important to choose Eagle 3D Streaming for pixel streaming platform because there's always going to be the need for scalability and reliability. You're going to run into challenges of whenever you've built your Unreal Engine application. There's always going to be challenges in regards to updating it and making sure that it's the latest version. You're going to need a way to scale that application. So, for example, once you've created your Unreal Engine application and you've published it to the web, there are going to be multiple people accessing it at the same time. And so you need an efficient way to make sure that everyone can access your content. The benefit of using a platform is you can have a single URL, and once that URL is clicked, then anyone can access the experience. So you immediately have scalability solved, which means that now multiple people can access your interactive simultaneously. And then the last piece is, of course, the high fidelity experience. And if you're using pixel streaming, then you're actually able to stream to a device, anyone's device. And because of that, you don't have to worry about hardware installs. You don't have to worry about IT protocols where are they allowed to download an executable? You don't have to worry about, well, if the customer changes something in their project, then you don't have to repackage another executable and send it to everyone. It makes it much easier to manage our customers and deploy an experience that they can use for whatever purposes they've intended it for. So, with all that said, it's always better just to go in and give a real-time experience of what it's like to set up your first project on Eagle 3D. And this is all about just giving you the very basic, very initial setup blocks of creating your account and uploading your first project. And through going through these steps, you'll be able to go from, okay, I have an Unreal Engine project. I've created a build for it now. And now I'm ready to essentially deploy it. And I'll be able to do that through this platform. And once that's done, then I can share that project with anyone. So if you think about it, if you have this build and you were trying to share it with the customer, before Eagle 3D, you may have to upload it to a Google Drive or a Dropbox and then share the URL and then have them download it and then walk them through the dependencies and setting up and making sure you can run an executable to find out that they actually have, a Macintosh instead of a Windows device. So that's, before using a pixel streaming platform. And then afterwards, it's very simple. We build for Windows. We upload it to the platform. You share a URL with your client and they access the interactive experience, and it doesn't matter which device they're on. So of course, our learning objectives are basically how to, first of all, build and deploy using Eagle 3D streaming. And then we're also going to go over embedding as well. And we do have quite a few questions that actually came in prior to the workshop. And so we've essentially created a list, and we're going to go over those questions so that you guys have all of your answers to them. And of course, as usual and as always, this workshop is interactive, and this is really all just specifically designed for you guys to get the answers you need for this to be of value. So if you have a question, obviously don't hesitate to ask it. You can do it a few ways. You can raise your hand. If you're not familiar with Zoom, there is a raise your hand icon. And maybe I can't see it because I'm screen sharing. But if you scroll to your, yeah, thank you, Maru. You saved me. So if you scroll to the Zoom tile icons, then you should be able to see the option to emote, and then you can just use the raise your hand emoji, and you can raise your hand, and you can go about it that way, or you can just type a question in chat, and we will make sure we get an answer for you. Okay, of course. If any of you guys would like to partner with Eagle 3D Streaming, we obviously would be excited to host your project. Here's a QR code if you'd like to scan it, and we're also releasing 100 free minutes. So if you end up loving the platform and it's for you, then we will also have a promo code that can be used to get your 100 minutes free. So it's a little added bonus, summer bonus, I should say, for using Eagle 3D. Okay, so that's the presentation. Let's get into the actual work. So the first thing I like to do is just go over the build process. I'm sure we all know the build process, but we are going to do it well, just to double check and make sure and everyone's familiar with the steps. For that, Maruf, I'm going to hand it over to you, if you wouldn't mind screen sharing and just walking us through, the very basic steps of building your project, with enabling the Pixel Streaming plugin, just so everyone can kind of see there's nothing really custom or special that we're doing. It's really just the standard build process is the first step of getting your application ready for Eagle 3D.
Yeah, sure. Wait a second, I'm sharing my screen. So, okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So here I am with a sample project. So this is a project created with Unreal Engine. So to package your project, first thing you need to remember, just go to your plugins, search for Pixel Streaming, enable the plugin, restart your engine. Now go to your map. You see there is a platform icon. Just select over here. I'm currently on Windows, so I will click on Windows, Package Project, select a directory. Now select the directory, it will automatically package on that directory. So I have already done the packaging. So the packaging file will look like this one. So you see there's an exe file and there are some engine files. Yeah, Quentin, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. So that is essentially the entire process. It's, of course, very, very simple. A lot of you all have built, many, many, many times. And that is essentially the process for Eagle 3D is you just need to build 4 windows with the Pixel Streaming plugin enabled. And then you're off to the races. We do have our first question in from Manos. Manos is from Arkware. Thanks for joining again, Manos. You're asking about Pixel Streaming 2 and 5.6. Fakhrul, would you mind briefly touching on those two?
Yeah, thank you. We currently supporting Unreal Engine 5.6 and we are working to enable the Pixel Stream plugin to support, and it is we are almost done, but we have not released yet. That's it. So that's is we do not support currently Pixel Stream sub plugin 2, but we will release it very soon. Yeah, Quentin.
Cool. All right. So it is so yes to 5.6. Pixel Streaming 2 is on the way. Okay. So now that you've built your Unreal Engine application, the next step is, of course, to get it onto the platform. And so I'll share my screen again and just walk you through those steps. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is just go to the website. Easiest way to get there is just typing in eagle3dstreaming.com and you will land on our website. From there, all you have to do is click Stream for Free, and it will prompt you for the option to create a free account. And you also, of course, have the option to meet with us if you'd like to discuss your project. So if you've got a big project, if you've got a unique project, or if your project just needs a little extra love, you do have an option to schedule some time with us. But if you just want to try the platform, click on Create Free Account, and you will be taken, well, you won't be taken to this screen if you're already, or if you don't have an account yet. What you will be taken to is the sign up page. So the first thing you'll do is you'll land on this and then just click sign up, and then just go through the process of adding your email and completing the sign up process. And once that is finished, then you will land in your control panel. And your control panel is going to look like this. And you may have just the demo app and no app, or you'll only see the demo app. And you'll also probably notice, since I have an active account, I have storage and streaming, but you may see just a trial status bar right here instead, which because you're on trial, which is 7 days, then you have access to the platform for one concurrent user in order for you to stream any project or as many projects as you would like. Okay, so in order to add an application, it is very straightforward. So if you remember what Maroof had created, it was basically a build created from or packaged from the editor. So the next thing we're going to do is essentially just add that application to our control panel. The way that we do that is once you are on your control panel, the next thing that you need to do is just click Add Application. After you've done that, then you need to drag and drop your built application onto this screen, or you can also just browse on your computer. So in order to do that, and let's see. Let's say that I have this right here is my Unreal Engine project. So all you have to do is just zip the project. So after it's built, then you just need to zip the project itself, and then you can drag and drop it here. And if there is some sort of issue with the project file, then it will be detected through the system just to make sure that you're actually uploading a project that does have an Unreal Engine executable, and it is actually ready for pixel streaming itself. After you've uploaded the file, then you would just click continue and you would begin the uploading process. After you've finished the uploading process, then you will then see the application appear in your control panel. And for the purposes of this demo, I skipped the upload just because, so we're not sitting here, but essentially you would drag and drop your zipped file onto here, and then you would upload it. Once that's done, then it appears in your control panel. And once that's done, then you can click on it and you can begin streaming. So if you're clicking on your application for the first time, you will not see any streaming URLs. So the first thing that you would need to do is just to create a new streaming link. And once that is created, then you can immediately play your application. You can do that by just clicking Play App, which will start your stream. Yeah. And while this is launching, just to kind of go over those steps again, all I did was after I uploaded, I clicked on my tile, I created a new streaming link, and then I clicked Play App. And now I have my application streaming on the platform. So this takes about 15 minutes, I would say. So we can go from, we have an Unreal Engine build that our clients need access to them now accessing it over the internet in about 15 minutes. And the way that we do that is we just upload it and then we create a new streaming link. Then the question then becomes, okay, well, what's next? And from there, the sky is kind of the limit, just in terms of the flexibility and the customization and the capabilities that you have with the platform. It ranges from very, very easy, simple to implement features to if your team is more, if your team has front-end developers and has Unreal Engine engineers, then there's a lot of customization, a lot of deep customization that can be done. I'm going to go over briefly a few of these features that we see are typically the most popular, And then, of course, as usual, if there are questions about a more sophisticated or a more in-depth feature, you can always just ask a question and we'll try to get you an answer. Or if it's crazy technical, then we'll connect you with our support team and we will get it sorted for you. The way that the system works is you can create a config, which is essentially a preset for you to customize your stream. So in this case, I'm going to create a new config, and I'll just call it Workshop July, even though it's almost August. And after that's created, then I have the option to edit it. And once I click on the edit button, then I see a list of settings that are typically needed or typically people like to customize. For example, you can set an expiration for your URL. You can password protect your stream. You can set a session duration. You can specify resolution. You can anonymize the URL for security. You have AFK features, and you can also control mouse behavior. So sometimes you'll see that you'll still have the game mouse as well as the browser mouse. And so it kind of creates this like double mouse effect where it kind of looks like you have a mouse trailing another mouse. And there's a few ways that we can address that. One is you can hide your browser mouse if you'd like, or you can hide your game mouse. If you'd like to hide your game mouse, we have some documentation on that. You can just go to docs.eagle3dstreaming.com and you'll get information on how to hide your game mouse, as well as we have a huge amount of information associated with all the features in the platform. If you would like more options for customization, you can simply enable the advanced options, and there are lots of controls that you have regarding the streaming UI itself. So what's displayed while the actual stream is happening. You also have options to customize your loading experience. So you can fully white label it. You can totally remove everything associated with Eagle. And the reason we do this is we know that a lot of our customers are studios, and sometimes or typically they're creating projects for their end customers. And so they either need to represent their brand or they need to represent their brand for a seamless user experience. Because of that, we make it fully possible to completely, we call it white labeling, which is basically you can totally use your branding for the entire streaming sequence. We also have a lot of cool options for developers. If you need to send certain parameters to the app when it starts, if you need if we also have debugging tools in case you need to debug if your app is crashing, for example, then you can. I mean, there's a few cool things that we do. You can download the crash log immediately onto your browser. You can email the crash log to someone so that they can receive crash logs, and it just makes debugging a lot easier because if you imagine you're in the cloud, your game is running on a server in the cloud, and that could make debugging a little bit more challenging. But we have a lot of tools for you not to get stuck, meaning if you're in the development process still, we've got a lot of tools to make sure that if the app starts to crash or if there's any issues, that they're identified quickly so that we don't slow down. Okay, so those are some of the overall general features. One feature that I do want to briefly cover is the integration itself. So when I say integration, I'm talking specifically about, well, how can I add my application to my website? And in order to do that, I've put together a very small demo. It's obviously very basic, and the reason that is because your integration method will depend, and it will vary depending on what technologies you're using, what your tech stack looks like. And so I'm just going to go over the concept initially, and then so that everyone kind of gets and sees how this works. And then, of course, If you have a specific question or a question specific to your actual integration process, you can always ask that. But yeah, so let's just go over this real quick. Um, 1 minute. Just trying to. Manos, again, do you have a virus scanner engaging servers in your upload pipeline? Yes, we do. Yes, of course we do. That's obviously very important for multiple reasons that I won't necessarily go into the details about, but yes, of course. There has to be essentially an infrastructure developed around uploading your applications to perform multiple checks. That of course would be for viruses as well as benchmarking the application to make sure that it's actually properly running. Okay. Yes, you are welcome. And okay, so now let me just show the basic integration, so that you guys have an idea of what's going on. All right, so what I've created right here is just an extremely basic website. And if we look over here at the code, and this is just me vibe coding, creating a very standard website right here. And you can see that now we have the stream integrated into this website. So the way that we do that is very, very easy. The first step is, of course, to go to your application and then click on copy streaming iframe. So the way that we approach integration is by using the iframe. Now, the reason why we're using the iframe is it's typically quicker and easier to integrate into a website. But before you say, okay, well, what about security and some of the concerns that we have with iframe when it comes especially to sort of enterprise deployments, we do have options aside from the iframe that do not use it and instead integrate directly into the web page itself. So if you fall into that category where security is an issue or someone has concerns about iframe, we certainly have solutions for that situation as well. But we do find that the iframe works for about, I don't know, 80%, 70% of the cases because it's just so easy. I mean, if you've ever integrated a YouTube video into a stream, it's kind of the same thing. All you have to do is just copy the iframe embed script, and let's take a look at it real quick to see what that looks like. And there you go. So it's a very, very basic, just iframe embed script. And once this is created, then we simply take that and we implement it into our web page. And after we've implemented it into our web page, then if I run that web page, you can see now that the stream has been integrated into that web page, making it very easy for you to begin streaming. Now, of course, this is a very basic example, but just to show the idea of it. But we will also kind of give an idea of what's possible using this technology. Let's see. Yeah, I want to play this one. Okay. So yeah, so using the same technology and the same building blocks, we can then create a very, very customized experience for either our brand or for our customer's brand. So, this is sort of the first step in just showing how easy it is to use the iframe. And now I'm bringing up an example of, what's possible using this same technology. So here's a project that we did with they're a tool company that provides, or they're an international tool company that provides power tools to all over the globe, and they have what they refer to as a hub, and part of that hub is this area called job site. That when you click on it, the stream is then loading. And the first thing you'll notice, obviously, is it's fully customized to the end client so that they are totally capable of being able to stream and without any sort of seamlessness or any kind of issues running in from the client's end. So it creates a seamless experience. And this was done using this iframe technology. So if you are interested in going for this kind of level of customization, we have some documentation that we will share around this. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always ask, and we'll make sure you get the answers. But it's very easy for us to have these very seamless branded experiences. Going from, okay, well, I have my stream to, okay, now all of a sudden I had the seamless branded Milwaukee experience. Okay. So I'm just reading Adele's question, and Adele, we actually prepared for you. So let me just read the question and see if it's changed at all. Okay, so it's a little different, but a lot of it's the same. So Adele, we actually received your question beforehand, and we appreciate you sending it. We've prepared a little bit of a response, so we'll get into that in just one moment. And before we kind of enter the Q&A, I want to just briefly stop and see if anyone has any questions related to the demonstration. Questions, thoughts, concerns, or if you need any additional information or if anything else you would like to discuss on this. Okay, cool. Easy peasy, right? The last thing that I want to touch on is our pricing. So if you guys would like to continue with Eagle and give it a try, there's quite a bit of flexibility in how you can work with Eagle. The first is, kind of the standard, which is just paying by use. And so you can pay, a flat rate of 10 cents a minute for your streaming. We also have unlimited plans where you can essentially stream as much as you'd like. And instead, we just confine the number of seats that you have. So essentially, the number of people that you have streaming is limited by the number of seats that you have on the platform. We also have a very cool option where you can deploy it on your own hardware. And we see a lot of customers doing this on AWS or on their own hardware that they have, and you can turn those machines into streaming, and the platform still behaves 100% exactly the same. So there's lots of different ways that you can approach it, and we provide this kind of flexibility because we know that there's multiple kinds of use cases out there, and typically one of these plans is perfect for you. All right. Okay, so now let's go into the Q&A. And we will start with Adele's question. So, Maruf, have you had a chance to see his question? I know it's a little updated. Did you have a chance to check it out?
Yeah, I checked it. So yeah, Eagle is
Okay.
Eagle is supporting that. And if you properly package your project and you can create some pack files, so you don't need to rebuild and re-upload the project each time. Upload the pack file every time, and the pack file will be very little size. I think it will be created around 20 to 30 megabytes, but the project will be around 2 to 3 gigabytes sometimes, the package project. Okay, do you want some demonstration on that?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. Well, so you see here is a package project. So this is the package project. If I play the game, so this is currently on the local machine. So you see, and if I apply the pack file over here, if I go to content packs, okay, so if I just remove the pack files from here, and if I play the game, you will see some changes over here. You see, now it's black and white. So this is the pack file, and Eagle is currently supporting the pack files. So if I, so here it is. So I already uploaded a project into our streaming link. So if I play the game, okay, so when it's loading, I will show you how you can upload your pack files. So you need to construct the pack files like this. This is the streaming link. So you connect your .eagle3d streaming, then your username, then the project name, and that's the config. So okay, so this is the game running. And if you need to upload the pack file, you need to construct the link like this one. So upload old.eagle3dstreaming.com patch, then your username, then app name, then the what version you will upload. So currently my app name is my account name is E2DS Dev1, so I will replace with this one, and the app name is July Workshop. So this is my link to upload the pack file. So okay, so my internet is slow, that's why it's happening. Okay, you see, this is the link. So I can upload the pack files over here. So if I choose the files, and if I, yeah, and this is the pack file I have generated. So if I upload this pack file, upload, this pack file is around 30 megabyte, yeah, or 35, yeah, 35 megabyte. This is pretty low, and the package project is around, I think, yes, 700 megabytes. So you don't need to re-upload the whole thing. The patch is uploaded now. So if we play the game, you will see the changes now. It's launching. Okay, let me go through how you can build your own pack files. So you need to go to platforms, then project launcher. So I have some profiles. So this is my release profile, and this is patch 1 profile. So we already have our documentation about this one. So how you can create your own patch file. We'll share you shortly. You see, same URL, same link, and the game has been changed. You can update your game without rebuilding and re-uploading the game all around. Yeah, I think that's all.
Cool. And so can we go through those steps? One more, because that's super, super cool. Can we go through those steps one more time just to make
yeah.
sure? Yeah, just to make sure. And
Yeah, sure.
Adele, please don't hesitate to ask questions on this. Yeah, Maruf, please.
Well, you need to upload your base project into our platform. You just upload the packaged one. You see, I already zipped the file over here. So you need to upload the package file over here. Then you need to go here. You need to play the game. After when you play the game, you need to copy the URL. So let me open my notepad. So this is my streaming URL. So how I will upload my pack file. So you need to construct this link. So you see the upload code eagle3dstreaming.com patch, then the username. My username is eagledev1. You see on the website, this is my username. So after that, I need to copy and paste the username over here. And the app name. My app name is July Workshop. So this will be my app name. So yeah, this will be my app name. So if I copy this link and if I open this in a new tab, it will open a uploader. Then you can choose your pack file from over here. Then when the upload will be done, then you need to play again the game, and then your update will be patched. And your update will be applied. We already have a documentation on that. Fakul Bhai will share you in a moment.
Sweet. So Adele, kind of over to you. Is this the information that you were kind of looking for? Is this was this help, or yeah, was this the information that you were looking for? Yeah, feel free to, so you can respond in the chat, or you can just unmute your mic and let us know. What we will also do is we'll follow up with you with the documentation that was shared. And, of course, if you have any other questions, then feel free to reach out to us. Okay. All right. Let's move on. And Manos, I see that, as usual, you have lots of questions related to our platform. Some of these, are probably
Quentin, if
not
you want, we can even talk directly, mate. And thank you for the
Yeah.
last time, for the
Yeah.
touch up we had and stuff. But yeah, you can go on with the questions if you want.
Yeah. Let's chat directly.
Yeah.
Manos. Yep. Okay. Okay. So Adele says, thanks for the explanation. I heard you noticed that the file has a limited size. Is it right? I mean, to define a full multi-map and put them in a proof of storage or a pool of storage, and the core app calls them as users selected. Maruf, would you mind weighing in?
You can upload your file as big as you need to. There is no size limits on our website. The pack file will automatically generate it from your Unreal editor. So
Yeah. So, and we also Fakral and Maruf both just shared the documentation for it. So Dell, please have a look at that as well and let us know if you run into any challenges. All right, you guys. Any other questions?
I think I dropped some questions.
Yeah, no, I see them. I'm intentionally not answering them though, so I think that you and I should probably have a discussion directly rather than using
All
the
right.
workshop to answering these questions.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
However you like.
Yep, let's do it that way. Does anyone else have any questions? Oh yeah. So, and Ashraf just dropped in information about our Discord server documentation, patching in iframe. So essentially all the information that we covered in this workshop, you now have available, and we'll also send it out to you guys in the follow-up email. All right, team. If there's nothing else, thank you again for joining this workshop. One last thing is we do have an offer for 100 free minutes for streaming. And there is something else just came in. Oh, yep. What we were just talking about. So we do have an offer for you, 100 free minutes of streaming, and we provide it's a coupon code, which you can see in the chat. We'll also include this in the email. If you decide to go with an activated account, then you can always use the code and you'll get the first 100 minutes totally free. All right, everyone. Thanks again. We continue to have monthly workshops, so feel free to join at any time, as we're always covering new information, and we appreciate your time. Cool, Jacob. Thanks for dropping in and saying hello. Much new information. Yeah. And I mean, we're always here to answer any questions, truly. So just hit us up and we will make sure that we get you a response. All right. Thank you guys for another great workshop. Enjoy the rest of your month and we'll see you next month. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye everyone.
everyone.